Welcome to Political Update and glad to have you join us. I am Umar Isa Bununu. The political space has been full of activities in recent times, with players declaring their intention to aspire for offices as the 2019 general elections draw near. While some of the parties are on the verge of selecting their flag bearers, others have since passed that stage. One thing that stands out, however, is what some say is the high cost of nomination fees charged by the parties, which, according to some sections of the population, is capable of shutting the door against some people with the desire to lead. I am joined by Alhaji Faruk Ba Musa, Sarkin Arewon Gombe, an APC stalwart, to discuss this development and the way forward. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the primary elections of the parties, which will be held very soon. How do you see the adoption of direct, indirect, as well as consensus for the emergence of candidates of the parties?
Well, to start with, I think if you look at the political space, as you called it, it is the APC that is particular about this issue of direct or indirect primaries. And it's very important that viewers and Nigerians at large pay attention to the fact that we are coming from nearly 20 years or thereabout of the democratic experiment. Over time, both the parties and Nigerians at large have gone through the various models, various nomination processes, and before now, lots of people have complained about the issue of exclusion and imposition, which are tendencies that are anti-democratic. That is in the old climb, where the former party used its own methodology, which a lot of people complain about and considered very exclusive and does not allow full participation. As a result of that, a new party came on the scene called the APC. The APC came with a mantra, and the mantra is that of change. And Nigerians must accept the fact that the word change stands for what it is, i.e. change. It is a person seeing or coming to terms with new realities based on past experiences. Change can be positive or negative. In this instance, we're talking about a positive change, moving from a policy or a formula that was adjudged faulty to a formula that's more inclusive and more populist in nature. As it is right now, a lot of people believe that the former model of imposition or selection, as it were, was faulty. So the APC now decided to come out with a model that they feel will make them have a mass appeal. Politics is all about appeal. Politics is all about winning elections. Whatever you will do that will enable you captivate the mind of the voter and see you as a more equitable party and a more inclusive, as it were, party, the more people, the more sympathy you get, and the more people you get join your party, the more people you get give you votes. It's all about gathering votes. So in this particular situation, the APC is changing from the old ways, the old methods. And if you look at the constitution of the APC closely, it talks first and foremost about consensus where possible. And a lot of people are not even addressing that. For me, that is a very, very fundamental pillar in selection of candidates. As much as possible, being a party that has just defeated an incumbent party that was in office for 16 years, the APC needs to prove to Nigerians or show Nigerians at least that there is something different from what was the practice or what the people were used to. People who are complaining about imposition, the APC has now come out with A, consensus where possible, B, option of direct, and C, option of indirect primaries. And not only that, they have given a lot of flexibility and choice, which is the basic ingredient of democracy.
Do you see this direct primary approach as a tool of getting rid of godfatherism in Nigerian politics?
Well, take it this way. Politics by its nature is a game of influence and numbers. You have to be able to sell your candidate, and you have to be able to have respectability in terms of your views amongst the people. Once people trust you, then people will now say, okay, we are prepared to cast our lot with this group or with this person. For example, you will be wondering, what has the president done in this country to have elicited the kind of followership he has, the kind of cult belief and followership that people have in him? Very, very simple. For the past 16 years or longer than that, Nigerians have found it difficult. Leaders have failed to elicit trust amongst Nigerians. Here we now have a president that has built confidence and trust in Nigerian people, and that way he has become populist. So today, if you say you've opened the playing field, the playing field is opened, as it were, everybody should come and run against Mr. President. President Buhari will win by direct primaries, and that way you are 50% into winning the general election. Why? Because the same people that ensured that you emerge as a candidate for the direct primaries will come out and ensure that they vote for the right candidate during the secondary election. So for me, the way I look at it is that definitely, eventually, once all those prerequisites are met, it's going to be a universal phenomenon, and that is going to be the paradigm shift in the Nigerian political space.
Just like you said, President Buhari stands the chance of beating anybody in a direct primary election. But in the opposition camp, there is a party that said APC adopted direct primary system or method in its presidential whatever, just is a prelude to rigging the 2019 elections. How would you react to this?
Well, again, he who says it, or he who alleges, must prove. As far as I'm concerned, I have not seen any sign of that. And if anything, with the level of technology that's deployed by INEC in electoral management in Nigeria, rigging is soon going to be an old-fashioned thing. It's only parties of the old that are used to the former ways that are still having that mentality, because that was what probably they were used to, or that's what they knew. If rigging is the method of today, probably APC would not have won the election. The election was won because the ability to rig was blocked by the PVC and the card reader and the device. And the INEC has gone further to improve on that technology, such that all the loopholes in the electoral value chain have been blocked. So anybody shouting of rigging, I think, should go and re-examine and understand what is ahead of them. The earlier they go back to the people and get the trust of the people that they lost in the last election, so they will now find a candidate that is qualified enough to face the APC candidate, the better, rather than crying wolf where there's none.
Or are they afraid that because the president has cult followership, as you put it, that's why they have become intimidated by that followership and think that at the end of the election nothing will change?
Precisely my point. The reality is that up till today, the APC, the PDP is in what I call disarray, so to speak, because to be able to bring together divergent gladiators, nearly 12 or more, as presidential candidates, couple them into one unified platform is a Herculean task. And on the one hand, on the other hand, you have the other party that is gaining strength day by day, getting stronger and stronger, and Nigerians understanding the fact that this party is more ready or is more committed to the welfare of Nigerians. I give you an example. In the past less than 4 years, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari has succeeded in doing what the previous government could not do in 16 years in terms of physical infrastructure. Electricity, $16 billion down the drain, no meaningful or substantial improvement in power. In the last 3 years, all that government did was to ensure that they removed corruption, put the right things in place, despite all the hiccups and shortcomings. Now, electricity supply has improved dramatically, and it has, so to speak, stabilized. When there's power failure, it does not last for a certain number of minutes before it is recovered. Roads. Now roads are being built practically and really and practically. In the past 16 years, for example, the major artery road that connects the states of Adamawa and Taraba to the rest of Nigeria was a death trap. Now that road, thanks to the policies of President Muhammadu Buhari, that road, you slip and pass through that road without realizing that you've passed through a road. Before now, it takes you 10 hours to move from Gombe to Yola, but now it's less than 2 hours. Railways. Now the railways are being revamped, are being developed, employment being provided. Agriculture. Now, within 3 years, Nigeria is soon going to become a net food exporter against what it was before. And together with that, lots and lots of employment. And national security, wherever it is, comes first with food security. And President Muhammadu Buhari has succeeded in less than 4 years in stabilizing an economy that he inherited. There was comatose, there was near death. He inherited a situation where part of Nigeria has been annexed, is flag of different countries, so to speak, that's flying in some parts of Nigeria. Today, all those things have been conquered and reverted back. People have been brought back into the family fold of Nigeria. So the point I'm trying to make is that Nigerians have seen all this and believe that the future is brighter than even the past. And that is why they have resolved, apart from the various empowerment programs for the youth, for women, for the indigent, for artisans and small-scale industrialists. So Nigerians have literally made up their minds that PDP, if you like, whatever you come up with at the end of the day is just to fulfill righteousness. But definitely Nigerians have made the choice between what they want and what they do not want.
In the beginning of our discussion, you said APC adopted direct or indirect primaries at various levels to bring about inclusion. And going by the cost of forms, nomination forms,
yes,
charged by the party,
yes,
some people are of the view that this is prohibitive and it is capable of denying some people access to aspire denying them the opportunity to realize their aspirations.
I sympathize with that viewpoint. It's very it's factual that there's an increase between what it was and what it is. But I want to emphasize this point. Don't forget that this government prophesizes change. Mr. President is telling everybody that cares to listen that you must open your ears and eyes. We are here to change Nigeria from what it used to be or from what it was to the new methodology of doing things. Let me tell you about what I mean by that. Very simple. Before now, we've read in the pages of newspaper how government funds were taken to fund political activities. Monies meant for weapons and security of this country taken to fund campaigns. Mr. President said enough of that. Not a penny of government money should be taken to fund the APC. So how does the APC survive, and how does the APC get the commitment it requires from its people? APC has to be self-funding. The methodology of self-funding is to now tell members that A, you have to be seen to be paying capitation dues, and B, if you want to contest election, you now have to pay what it takes to be able to purchase the forms. All that is done to achieve the paradigm shift of change. Now everybody will now realize the fact that gone are the days when you now put hands in the till of the treasury to take money because you are in control of government. The easiest thing for the president to do, because he's the president of Nigeria today, is to put hands in some of the parastatals and now fund every candidate for free and say, let everybody come around. But the president is walking the talk. All he's saying is that APC is not going the old way. APC is a party of change, and therefore Nigerians must appreciate the fact that parties must begin to find ways of internal revenue generation.
As we begin to wind down, let's have a look at what is happening in your state, Gombe.
Yes.
Which the APC contested the governorship election in 2015.
Yes.
And lost.
Yes.
How easy is it going to be for the party this time around?
Three things. Number one, you're correct. APC contested against the PDP and lost. But APC did not lose entirely, because Gombe gave Mr. President 89% of the votes. Gombe gave APC 2 senators. Gombe gave the APC 2 members of House of Representatives. Gombe gave a number of members in the State House of Assembly. But so what that tells you is that essentially Gombe is an APC state. What 1 or 2 mistakes that were made in the last dispensation, and what we believe was that the APC was literally rigged out in the last election because the state government was controlled by the PDP. But I can assure you that the party in Gombe has resolved 2 things. One, to give Mr. President more than 89%. Your guess would be as good as mine, whether it's going to be anything between 90 and 100%, whatever it is going to be. Because now we've realized the areas where we made mistakes, and we've plugged the loopholes and we've corrected the mistakes. 2, the performance of our candidate, Mr. President, in office in the past 3 years has made every man and woman of voting age in Gombe convinced that the fact that this man is the right man for the job. Before elections of 2015, the people of Gombe, some people were in IDP camps. Today there is no single family that's in IDP camp. We are in the northeast battlefront. We know what the brunt of insecurity. Now that has become a matter of the past. For that reason alone, people in Gombe are prepared to vote APC from top to bottom. 2, infrastructure. Before now, the federal roads in Gombe, name it, Gombe Yola, Gombe Biu, Gombe Bauchi Jos, were death traps. If you go there now, you see contractors working day and night and ensuring that those roads have been brought back to life. Railways. Gombe was a major railway hub because it's a major trading post for cotton, groundnut, and other agri products. Now the railway is being rehabilitated, and we're exporting our food products, selling our foodstuff and cattle, livestock. So the point I'm trying to make is that, wait, come 2019, you'll come and meet me here, and you say I told you that Gombe will be an APC state 100%.
Agreed. Mr. President will get over 89% in Gombe in 2019.
Yes.
But some people allege that Gombe lost in APC lost in the governorship election because of anti-party activity. Are you sure that this time around there won't be such act?
Like I told you, we've seen the loopholes and we've plugged the loopholes. That's exactly what I meant by that. We ensured that the bad eggs are flushed out. We ensured that we gave responsibility to people that are of repute, people that we can trust, and we ensure that these people that we gave the leadership of the party will definitely deliver the party to victory come 2019.
But Farouk Bamusa, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And now to our reports segment of the program. The Independent National Electoral Commission is seeking the cooperation of political parties, the public and security agencies towards putting a stop to vote buying and vote selling during election. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu said this at a dialogue organized by the Youth Initiative for Advocacy, Growth and Advancement, YIGA.
The forum, which brought together political party representatives, the public, election observers within and outside the country, discussed on vote buying and vote selling, its causes and the way forward. Panelists observe that with the adoption of the new technology, those who perpetrate the act of election rigging now find it difficult to do so.
Our laws are very, very clear that this is an electoral crime, and our security agencies need to perform their responsibility of addressing and prosecuting offenders.
I appreciate that citing of PUs is a matter of law, but the secrecy, everything has to be done to ensure that people cannot display their choice.
INEC National Chairman said election rigging is a dismal development in Nigeria and appealed for the support of everybody to stop it.
Just in order to make a point that we have come so far. Votes count, votes will continue to count, and I want to restate our commitment to you and to Nigerians in general that votes will continue to be the determinant of who wins in our elections.
The INEC boss said polling units will be restructured to guarantee secrecy of voters.
The leadership of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, has reiterated its commitment to comply with electoral guidelines in the Osun governorship election and beyond. This was at the party's training on INEC 2019 documentation requirements in Abuja.
This is a convergence of the 31 states and the FCT chairman of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, as well as its secretaries and legal advisors. The major agenda here is to arouse their consciousness towards complying with the electoral guidelines.
We have had experiences of how we fill INEC forms, and there have been mistakes and mistakes. And with a single mistake, you can edge or throw our aspirant, or no, rather a candidate, out.
And ensure that whatever you do, there is a high level of accuracy, so that our candidates who have paid their money to purchase form do not fill in wrong information.
The issue of vote buying, which is becoming a trend during elections, especially during the recent Ekiti governorship poll, must not be allowed to reoccur, as the party resolved to partner INEC at putting a stop to the menace. To the People's Democratic Party, PDP, INEC's preparedness towards curbing vote selling and buying is a step in the right direction. This was part of deliberations raised by the PDP Voice Worldwide, a support group of the party, during a media briefing.
Wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has called on the supporters of the President not to relent in propagating the manifesto of the All Progressives Congress of changing the lives of Nigerians to ensure victory of the party come 2019. Mrs. Buhari stated this when she received officials of Project 4+4 Buhari Oshimbanjo 2019 on a courtesy visit.
Drawn from the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT, Project 4+4 Buhari Oshimbanjo 2019 is a coalition of friends and supporters of President Muhammadu Buhari. Their focus was purely on grassroots mobilization to supporting the administration of the current government. While seeking the blessings and prayers of the wife of the President in achieving this target, the leader of the group, Garba Musa Bello, told Mrs. Buhari that they have resolved to work with the relevant stakeholders, especially women and youth, in propagating the achievement of the present government.
Our target is to engage and sensitize 35 to 40 million Nigerians through our different means of disseminating information.
While acknowledging their efforts, the wife of the President urged the group to continue with their mobilization program, especially at the grassroots, bearing in mind the good policies and programs of the government.
Although we have the votes and the backing of millions of Nigerians, it is important we continue the mobilization so that we don't leave anyone behind.
Mrs. Buhari also emphasized on the need for political leaders to engage massively on developmental projects and programs that will have direct bearing to the electorate, adding that once this is achieved, re-election of APC come 2019 is automatic.
As the 2019 general elections draw near, more political gladiators are stepping out to declare interest to contest in the election. The latest is Senator Basi Otu, who presented himself to serve the people of Cross River Southern Senatorial District.
Senator Basi Otu, while declaring his interest to contest election back to the Senate, said he is a bastion of hope for the people of Cross River Southern Senatorial District.
Those who want me to declare now should say aye, and those who don't want me should say nay. Let me say, I think the ayes have resoundingly. I've served with my people within Anantara, and I've dined with the Southern District students at all levels. In all these, I've learned great lessons, and I've always gone back to till the soil and plan for the future. I have served in the green chambers and the red chambers. I have traveled the waters of Umon to Union and descended from Oban Hills to Bakassi Creeks. I have handled the umbrella, and I'm now brandishing the broom. APC!
Chairman of the event, Dr. Emmanuel Nsang, urged fans of Senator Basi Otu to put behind the challenges of the past and forge ahead.
Rex ipsa loquita, that is, the situation speaks for itself. If you had waited for the end of this occasion before trying to ask how was it, please accept my sympathy. But you are here to see it personally, so I join in congratulating you.
There were goodwill messages from some APC stakeholders in the state, such as the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Pastor Usani, Senator John Owaneno, Chief Edem Duke, as well as Professor Eyo Etumunyong. Others are the APC National Vice Chairman South-South, Hilliard Eta, National President, Buhari Youth Organization, Alhaji Nala Yusuf, and the APC State Chairman, Dr. Matthew Achigbe.
And I stand here and I make a statement that Prince Basi Otu has been resoundingly outstanding. It is therefore my delight to say, as far as the power to elect remains with the people, he is confirmed and returned unopposed.
Senator Basi Otu was elected member of the House of Representatives in 2003 to represent Calabar Odukpani Federal Constituency and re-elected in 2007. He was later elected into the Red Carpet Chamber in 2011 to 2015 to represent the Southern Central District of the state.
That's how far we can go on the program this week. Thank you for watching.